Hello, everyone. Unity, peace, and victory. This is just a short live to inform all of you how we had made an important timeline shift about 2 days ago. What I do and what another aspect of what we do, and of course, with a divine team that are co-creators. What we do is we facilitate the new reality as part of the Ascension. So, having said this, as a result of divine creation work that is done on a level beyond human comprehension, for we are actually we do not need machines like CERN or technology. We are the creator energy. And having said this, we are the omnipotent divine element upon the planet to carry out and facilitate the ascension forward for humanity. And just to keep it simple, part of that process is we also create the space for the higher events energetically, where ones of us go forward. For example, Femke, about a week ago, had to go forward in time and space energetically to create the space for this recent timeline shift. Now, it's all a team of us that works on doing this, and we all have our certain roles and contributions. The same as all of you, everyone that is awakened and in the ascension process that is aware that an ascension is occurring, you all play an important role in that. Nothing is trivial that you do. Without getting in, I wanted to keep this very short because, of course, we're very busy. But the main thing is that the future has changed, meaning that it has changed in very good ways, but also where the future has changed and the shift occurred, it is also a confirmation of our huge divine activations with reality that we're doing upon the planet. We don't require any confirmations for everything just is, and we just are, and you know what you're doing. It is no guesswork nor speculation. It is the inner knowing and following the guidance in the moment, what you receive to do. Having said this, the reason why I am doing this is to let everyone know again and to remind you that it is important to be in the now moment and to not project your plans outward too far in the future. It's great to project a tentative plan, a flexible one, just as an option is the best way to put it, because things are changing so quickly. We are taking humanity forward into a different space where things work differently. And having said that, each one of you in your daily existence, all of everything you do in your timeline, your own timeline with reality, is all connected into the whole. So when there is a significant shift upon the planet for all of humanity and the space, if you had a plan set out and if reality changes, then your plan will not come to fruition. And this is one of the reasons why. So it's best to know what is occurring, that we're in constant, rapid levels of the future changing. And this is why your plans will not coordinate with the future. And it's why you are told, one of the basics of ascending is to be in the now moment and to follow the divine guidance rather than trying to control your reality in your timeline, where things are shifting so quick for the overall good. So as long as you're, aware of what's occurring, any plans you make are only options. It's only tentative for the most part. Anything out, let's say, longer in the future than a day, a day ahead plan is usually manifests and works okay. But anything beyond a day, you're reminded that everything is subject to change within the blink of an eye. Now, having said this great shift forward is very good, and it's also it's also bringing, let's say, more of, and Femke mentioned this morning, which what she was saying, is that there's so many beliefs out there which keeps ones astray from that one common goal in existence. So, like Femke describes it as the trunk of the tree and the different branches, which is great. And having said that, in this most glorious time, if you will, we are all part of this trunk that is going forward. So if you're out on a branch, you come and you get aligned with the trunk, the main pillar at going forward, the main path at going forward. And during the process of doing this, it's why all of these limiting, disempowering beliefs that are out there is to detach your consciousness from energizing these. You want the ultimate goal straightforward for everyone. You want to be in the place of love and harmony. So what you do is you find your direction towards that and keep it as simple as possible, because as a co-creator, not only are you creating the new reality, you are creating the path to get there quicker. But if you're distracted out through the side on a disempowering belief or a false narrative, or a prolonged narrative for humanity that may have a goodwill intent, you are still not in alignment with the full one going forward. And the full one going forward, yes, is what is the divine deliverance. It's what gets everything done quickly. And where GPMS is the divine deliverance, it has the absolute priority upon the planet, meaning that any subsequent or other leading up to this time narratives, they cannot come into existence because they're not in alignment with the one plan. So they may stray to the sides, but what you'll see is they have to converge with all of the people back to the one common goal and the absolute direction of the ascension. So, to, let's say, limit the duration of linear time of the ascension, this is why I speak like I do, and many others, to say, do not be disempowered and disillusioned by lengthy narratives that will keep you giving your power away, becoming codependent on another figure or group to do something for you. That keeps you in a stagnant area. It keeps you in a looping pattern. It keeps you with the expectation of another to do something for you. And in this time, all of you are not only obligated from your divine being, but also from your humanoid physical being upon the planet. You are obligated, yes, to take humanity forward. It's why you went through all of your own individuals trials and tribulations and learning at what is not morally, ethically, and virtuously correct. You needed to know that because it's part of your purification process to acclimatize and to fit into the new reality with your humanoid form still intact. So you're advancing your consciousness and your purity of the energy. Everything is energy. That's why your inner work was so important to master and overcome the fear and the negativity, and to not be generating that out into the reality. Because when you create negativity and fear, and when you act, and let's say with vile coming out from your voice, you're energizing the reality with that. And where we're going, that does not exist. So you can see how it's not compatible. All wants a harmonious, loving world. And in that harmonious, loving world, vile and all of these negative fear things do not exist there. So it makes absolute perfect and simple sense that ones need to be purified so they're not contaminating the new, because it's no longer a place of fear and negativity. So everyone's being prepared to trickle into the new, but also to be in alignment with this. So we are having a great shift forward. Many things are changing in the future. And also, as a result, events are speeding up as well. So we were successful at having a huge activation that was carried out by divine ones in the humanoid form here. And having said that, to keep it as simple as possible, it is a huge success, and I don't readily have an actual measure of how much time, linear time, we shortened, but I do know that we shortened the length of linear time towards the full deliverance and liberation of humanity. It has been shortened. I do not know by how much, but definitely shortened. The future has changed since a few days ago. More things are coming into alignment with this great convergence, the great unity to create the new reality. So, having said this, perhaps a week ago, I had mentioned there was, at that time, an unavoidable negative event or events that had to occur, and that's what Father had given. However, what I am now saying, as a result of this significant divine activation, creation activation we did, I'm feeling much more quickly that more will become in alignment now with this one common goal, the deliverance, to take humanity forward, and thus, as a result, will limit negative things that might have needed to occur to destruct the old. Because again, the more that are energizing and supporting the new, by default, the negative events become unnecessary. They don't need to occur. And as a result, the more we take things forward, the shorter any transitional period becomes with it. And we are at the great time where there does not need to be energized by anyone a transitory period. Every one of you, as a co-creator, you have a choice to consciously energize from your divine being a transition period, or just the finale, So it makes absolute sense for everyone when you have the full capacity and ability as a co-creator. Why would you create a transitory a timeline where misery still continues and, human souls still depart from the planet? Why create a transitional timeline when it's definitely not necessary? Why not just unite together and create the finale and have it all done? So it's unnecessary to have a lengthy transitionary period. And once everyone becomes aware of your divine ability as a co-creator upon the planet, and when you energize the finale where everything is good, then we get there quicker. However, if you linger in the other narratives and beliefs and being codependent on another group to do something for you, you are actually not actualizing and utilizing your co-creator abilities at just creating the new. And with this new, it also can be the flashpoint with it. We are in a flashpoint now. The linear duration of this flashpoint depends upon each one of you. So we can shorten it up because of the co-creators we are. One of the great myths that I've seen prevalent out there is souls will use a reasoning that the masses cannot handle the truth. That is a myth. Once all of you keep creating the new reality, then it's so much easier for them to see and accept, because up here the veil is lifted. It is the veil that's intact on the unawakened masses that doesn't allow them to see. You can show them the truth all day long, but they will not get it, because it's not about you awakening them directly. It's about you going forward and creating the space where automatically they awake. And upon the planet, there are more than enough awake at this time, and there is no reason why the new should not be fully supported and created by all these powerful co-creators, instead of sitting in complacency and waiting for any others to do things for you. With this divine plan, what we are doing is we are taking the physical manifest into the heaven on earth scenario with your humanoid vessels intact. And the way to do that, GPMS is a divine vehicle. It's a divine instrument. It is omnipotent. It is all powerful. And it is upon the planet to effect this great ascension forward. And the way to do that, what we have done, because it's a divine plan, we have stepped it down to offer it to all of humanity by simply, while in the physical manifest, registering their agreement and support to this new world. And that's what takes them through. They don't need to be fully awakened. They only need to be a part of it and aligned with it. And this makes it happen much quicker. And during the course of it happening much quicker, you are changing dimensional reality. So with every voice that is registered materially and physically with GPMS, it is creating a new dimensional reality where the ones also began to wake up and see much quicker. And it facilitates the whole. And with this, I would not be doing GPMS and taking this forward for humanity if there were other things that were going to work. for it would be a waste of Rick's physical time as my humanoid part, but also my divine part. So I am not doing what I am doing while through sharing GPMS with everyone. It's because it is the divine vehicle that gets it done, and it needs to be done. But by saying this, that means all other things will not work. No gold, other GCR, quantum, Nasara, Gesara things, none of that works. If it was to work, we would not be doing GPMS, which is the ultimate solution. And it's that simple. And everyone needs to see this, and we get the ultimate heaven on earth created much quicker. So with all of the other frivolous tributaries that's keeping you complacent and waiting on others, like, you know, the Gesara thing is a prime example, 30 or 40 years, you know, one's saying it's happening tomorrow, and, you know, they've been saying that for 30 or 40 years, and it has not come to fruition again. So it's time for everyone to know that these are not the deliverance for humanity, that a lot of this was part of games, but it was also instrumental to get one's put forward. So everything has its purpose and its good benefits. However, there comes a time to let go of these old things like Nasara and Gesara, and to know that what we are doing, we are actually collecting the worldwide voice, which is a tangible thing. It's the support of the new reality, and this is what it gets done. For example, you cannot have a Gesara Nasara if the people do not support it. So it makes absolute sense what we're doing with GPMS, which goes above anything that a Nasara Gesara timeline could even offer. So it makes absolute sense, and this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Why energize a lengthy transition when you can instantly create the new reality right now? And let me say, also, if the supposed ones that were supposed to carry Nasara and Gesara forward, GPMS is the ultimate solution. So having said that, you know, these so-called leaders of it were to take it forward. What GPMS is, because they're in the government and in the banking place, they have everything right at their fingertips. They could do GPMS in 2 days for humanity. In 2 days, they could do this. So it becomes very evident that they do not have the people's best interest in mind, and that there is something, let's say, definitely not in alignment with these other narratives. And you do not need cohort operations, if you will, to clean up the planet, while the same ones that are supposed to be the ones to do that are still inflicting harm and even perhaps mass attempted genocide upon humanity. That doesn't make sense, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist or a scholar to even see how nonsensical that is. So I need to say these things once again, and I did also say to keep this short. So love and light and victory and much gratitude, and we had an incredible shift, and let's keep taking this shift forward very quickly. And it's best to be in the now moment. Keep your vibration raised, keep your sights on the grand finale GPMS, and that's also, it uplifts the planet quicker to that heaven on earth scenario. So you don't need to wait for someone else to do things for you. It's your actual obligation and commitment as a humanoid upon the planet, and also as a divine being, to fulfill your obligation, if you will, and your divine duty at bringing the heaven on earth scenario here now. You have the power to do it. We have the power to do it all together. So it makes absolute sense to do it now. So, okay, gotta go. We got this. We always had it. Yeah. I love you all, and much gratitude and much light, and have an amazing morning, day, or night, wherever you're at, and share this far and wide if you wish. And having said that, anything I ever write or record, it's all free for everyone, because it's about getting the word out to as many. And, you know, of course, if this doesn't resonate with one, you know the basics, that it's just that it's not time for them. But what I will say is that in the future, there will be the time for, not only do I speak the truth from the 5% human aspect of Rick, I speak the divine truth from the 95% in my connection straight to Creator. And I don't say that from a bad ego state. I need to say it from the divine ego of who and what I am. Like many more of you, there's over 4 million of you upon the planet that are directly connected to Creator and are part of this mission, and know this within you. There is no doubt. So again, it's time for us all to unite and take this home for all of humanity and get our mission completed. Okay, I was rambling. Okay, love and light, much gratitude, and have an amazing morning, day, or night.